California is home to golden beaches, Hollywood fame, and breathtaking landscapes. But beneath its beauty lies a darker side. From ghostly ships to eerie mansions, some places refuse to let go of the past. Spirits wander, whispers fill the air, and shadows move where no one should be. These are the top 10 most haunted places in California. Beneath the bright lights of Long Beach, California, lies one of the most haunted ships in the world, the RMS Queen Mary. This massive ocean liner sailed for decades, hosting Hollywood stars, military troops, and thousands of passengers. But some never made it off the ship. During World War II, the Queen Mary was used as a troop transport and earned the name the Grey Ghost. The ship was involved in a horrifying accident when it collided with its escort ship, the HMS Curacoa, slicing it in half. Over 300 men drowned, their spirits said to haunt the ocean beneath the Queen Mary. When the ship retired and became a floating hotel, ghostly activity skyrocketed. One of the most terrifying areas on the ship is the engine room. A young crewman named John Henry was working near door 13, a massive watertight door, when it slammed shut, crushing him to death. Visitors have reported hearing loud banging sounds from inside the engine room, seeing shadowy figures darting between the machinery, and feeling an unseen force brushing past them. Some say John's spirit still lingers, warning others of the dangers in the depths of the ship. The Queen Mary's first-class swimming pool has been empty for decades, but many say the ghosts of past guests still use it. Staff and visitors claim to hear the sound of splashing water and children laughing. Some have even seen wet footprints leading from the pool, when no one was there. One woman on a ghost tour captured a terrifying photo of a little girl standing at the edge of the pool. But when she looked up, there was no one there. Would you step aboard the Queen Mary, knowing that some guests never left? Sitting in the middle of San Francisco Bay, Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary was once the most feared prison in America. It held some of the country's most dangerous criminals, including Al Capone and the Birdman of Alcatraz, Robert Stroud. But for many prisoners, Alcatraz became their final resting place. The prison was built on an island that Native Americans once called Evil Spirits Island. Even before it became a prison, it was said that dark entities haunted the land. The most haunted part of Alcatraz is Cell Block D, where the worst prisoners were placed in solitary confinement. Some were locked in total darkness for days, only given one meal a day. Many went insane. Terrifying reports from Cell Block D visitors hear screaming and moaning from empty cells. Cold, unseen hands grab those who step too close. Shadowy figures appear behind bars, then vanish. One of the most chilling stories involves a prisoner locked in cell 14D. He screamed through the night, saying something was in the cell with him. Guards found him dead the next morning, with strangulation marks around his throat, but no one had entered his cell. Would you step inside Cell Block D, knowing that some prisoners never left? In San Jose, California stands one of the most bizarre and haunted mansions in the world, the Winchester Mystery House. This 160-room mansion is filled with twisting hallways, staircases that lead to nowhere, and hidden doors. But the strangest part, it was all built to confuse ghosts. Sarah Winchester, the widow of the Winchester rifle fortune, believed she was cursed. A psychic told her that the spirits of those killed by Winchester rifles would haunt her forever, unless she kept building her home. So for 38 years she never stopped. Sarah designed the house to trap and confuse spirits. Strange features inside the Winchester house. Doors that open into brick walls, staircases that lead straight into the ceiling, secret passages hidden behind bookshelves. But despite her efforts, the spirits never left. Many visitors report seeing shadowy figures moving through the halls. One of the most famous ghosts is a man in a wheelbarrow known as the Wheelbarrow Ghost. Some believe he was a worker who never left, even in death. Terrifying encounters at the Winchester house. Doors slam shut on their own, even when locked. Visitors hear whispers calling their names. Ghostly figures appear in mirrors, watching them. One woman took a photo inside the house and later noticed a figure standing at the top of the stairs. But no one else had been there. Would you step inside the mansion built to keep ghosts away, knowing they never left?
California may be known for its bright lights and golden beaches, but some places are overshadowed by darkness. Beyond the Hollywood glamour and sunlit streets, there are cemeteries filled with cursed spirits, theaters where ghostly performers still take the stage, and asylums where the echoes of the past still linger. These are some of the most terrifying haunted places in California. In the heart of Hollywood, California, stands the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel, a glamorous hotspot for the elite. Since opening in 1927, it has hosted countless movie stars, directors, and musicians. But behind its luxury and old Hollywood charm, the Roosevelt hides a darker secret: its ghostly residents. One of the most famous ghosts said to haunt the hotel is Marilyn Monroe herself. The legendary actress lived at the Roosevelt for 2 years in the early days of her career, and many believe she never left. Guests report seeing her reflection appear in a mirror before fading away. Some claim to hear soft laughter and whispers as if she's still preparing for a photo shoot. Others say they've seen a shadowy blonde figure near the pool, only for her to vanish. The hotel's Grand Ballroom is another hotspot for ghostly activity. Some believe it is haunted by Montgomery Clift, a 1950s film star who once stayed in room 928. Staff have reported hearing someone playing the trumpet late at night, but when they enter, the room is empty. Guests wake up feeling an eerie presence standing by their bed. Some say they hear the sound of pacing footsteps and feel a sudden drop in temperature. Would you check into the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel knowing that the spirits of old Hollywood may still be watching? While most cemeteries are places of rest, the Hollywood Forever Cemetery seems to be a place where the dead still have unfinished business. This legendary cemetery, established in 1899, is the final resting place of Hollywood's biggest stars. But some spirits don't seem ready to fade into history. One of the most famous ghosts at Hollywood Forever is that of Rudolph Valentino, a silent film heartthrob from the 1920s. After his sudden death at age 31, many claim to see his ghost wandering through the cemetery. Visitors report seeing a tall man in a black suit and slicked-back hair, only for him to vanish. Some say they hear soft footsteps following them near his grave. An unknown woman in black is often seen placing a single red rose on his tombstone before disappearing into thin air. Another terrifying entity seen at Hollywood Forever is the Wailing Woman, a spirit said to belong to a grieving mother from the early 1900s. Visitors hear sobbing late at night but find no one there. A ghostly woman in a Victorian dress has been spotted crying near the mausoleums. Security guards report hearing whispering voices and eerie music playing from empty crypts. Would you visit Hollywood Forever Cemetery knowing that some of its residents refuse to stay buried? In Boyle Heights, Los Angeles, stands one of the most infamous abandoned hospitals in California, Linda Vista Hospital. Originally built in 1904, this once busy medical center treated thousands of patients before closing its doors in 1991, but some believe it was never truly abandoned. Over the decades, doctors, nurses and patients reported unexplained phenomena. But after the hospital shut down, paranormal activity intensified. The ghostly patients of Linda Vista. Visitors report hearing the sound of gurney wheels rolling down the hall, but no one is there. Doctors claim to have seen shadowy figures standing in empty hospital rooms. Security guards have caught footage of doors slamming shut on their own. One former nurse who worked at Linda Vista refused to step foot inside after dark. She said she often felt a cold hand grab her wrist in the ICU, but when she turned, no one was there. The old surgical rooms are considered the most haunted part of the hospital. Chilling reports from the surgical wing. Disembodied whispers fill the air, as if doctors are still discussing operations. Some people report feeling a burning sensation on their skin, as if touched by something unseen. The ghost of a former patient, known as the Crying Man, is often seen wandering near the emergency room. Would you enter Linda Vista Hospital, knowing the spirits of the past may still be seeking help?
California is full of haunted places, some filled with tragic history, others hiding sinister secrets. But the most terrifying locations are those where spirits refuse to let go, places where something darker lingers. From a hotel where guests check in but never leave, to a lighthouse where the dead still call for help, these are some of the most chilling haunted locations in California. Would you visit? The Claremont Hotel, where guests never leave. Sitting high in the hills of Berkeley, California, the Claremont Hotel is known for its breathtaking views and grand architecture. But beneath its beauty lies a terrifying secret. Many guests have checked in, but some never left. The ghostly girl in white. One of the most famous spirits of the Claremont is a young girl in a white dress, often seen on the 4th floor. Guests waking up to the sound of a little girl giggling when no one is there. Some have seen the girl standing at the end of their bed watching them. Others report hearing footsteps running down the hallway, but when they look, the corridor is empty. One terrified visitor even claimed to have captured a blurry image of the girl on his phone only to have it mysteriously disappear the next day. The hotel's elevators have a mind of their own. Doors open and close by themselves, without anyone pressing the button. The elevator stops on random floors where no one is waiting. Some guests feel an eerie presence standing next to them, though no one is there. Point Sur Lighthouse, the spirits of the sea. Perched on a rugged cliffside along California's Highway 1, Point Sur Lighthouse has guided sailors to safety for over a century. But not everyone made it to shore alive. Many ships have wrecked along this treacherous coastline, and some of their lost souls are said to haunt the lighthouse to this day. The ghost of the lighthouse keeper. Visitors hear footsteps echoing up the stairs, but no one is inside. The light flickers on and off, even though it's been automated for years. Some claim to hear whispers carried by the wind as if calling for help. One of the most famous spirits here is a former lighthouse keeper, whose shadowy figure is often seen standing near the railing. Some believe he is still watching over the coast, even in death. Another chilling legend is that of the woman in the fog, believed to be the spirit of a shipwrecked passenger. People walking near the lighthouse have seen a woman in a long dress drifting through the mist. She appears lost, as if searching for something, or someone. When approached, she vanishes into the fog, leaving only the faint sound of waves crashing. The Greystone Mansion, the curse of a Hollywood tragedy. Hidden in the Hollywood Hills, Greystone Mansion is a place of luxury, mystery, and one of Hollywood's darkest secrets. Built in 1928 for oil tycoon Edward Doheny, the mansion became the setting for one of the most shocking unsolved murders in Los Angeles history. In 1929, just months after moving into the mansion, Ned Doheny and his secretary Hugh Plunkett were found dead inside the house. Officials claimed it was a murder-suicide, but the details never added up. Both men were found in different rooms with multiple gunshots fired. The case was quickly closed, leaving behind more questions than answers. Ever since the tragedy, the mansion has been plagued by paranormal activity. Visitors report hearing whispers and muffled gunshots late at night. Cold spots appear suddenly as if someone is standing nearby. Some have seen shadowy figures in the hallways, vanishing when approached. One paranormal investigator reported seeing a man in a black suit standing at the top of the staircase. When he looked away for a moment, the figure was gone. The Whaley House, America's most haunted home. In the heart of San Diego, California, sits the Whaley House, one of the most haunted homes in America. Built in 1857, it was once a family residence, a courthouse, and even a public execution site. But too much death and sorrow left a permanent mark on the house, and many believe it is cursed. Visitors see Thomas Whaley, the original owner, standing by the staircase. His wife Anna is often seen in the parlor wearing a dark Victorian dress. The ghostly laughter of a little girl echoes through the halls. Before it became a family home, the property was the site of the execution of Yankee Jim Robinson, a convicted thief. He was hanged on the property in 1852, but it took him nearly an hour to die. Heavy boots are heard stomping through the halls. Guests feel an invisible force choking them for a few moments before releasing. Some say they hear gasping sounds as if someone is struggling to breathe. One woman visiting the Whaley House suddenly felt an unbearable pressure around her neck. She stumbled outside, gasping for air, only to find red marks around her throat. Would you enter the Whaley House knowing it holds the spirits of both the living and the executed? California's history is written in gold, but its darkest stories are etched in shadows. From tragic deaths to mysterious curses, these haunted locations hold spirits that refuse to rest. Some haunt the places where they died, others remain searching for answers. But one thing is certain, they are still here. Which haunted location in California would you visit? Let us know in the comments. And if you're brave enough, watch more of our haunted location videos.